Yeah, what's up? What's going on, everybody? It's your man, Coach Toby J. Listen, you are now watching the Changemaker Playbook Live Edition. Wednesday night, you know how we do it. We open up the playbook and we give you something that's going to change your life. We're going to give you something that's going to allow you to work on your inside game, if you know what I mean. You know, we're all about the change makers. We're all about changing ourselves on the inside first so that we can impact the things around us. And I'm telling you tonight, there's no doubt in my mind, I got a change maker for real. I got a change maker for real with me live tonight. So listen, share this. I need you, if you get on here tonight, I need you to share it. I need you to go over to YouTube as well. And now I'm doing LinkedIn. It's first night on LinkedIn, so we'll see how that goes. But we here. I'm here. And I'm glad that you in the room with me. And when you come in the room, man, just comment. Let me know you in here with us. Let me know you in here with us. I believe you are going to be empowered tonight through this conversation. I really believe it. You know, we're going to talk about when chains are broken. That's the name of the book by my guy that's going to be on here tonight sharing with you. And I'm going to be honest with you. Y'all in for a treat. Had the opportunity to talk to him on Monday, just touch bases. I was calling him to talk to him for 15 minutes. I was watching a soccer game. It was halftime of the soccer game. And I did not see the end of the game. So that lets you know I was on the phone with him for at least 45 minutes, right? That was 45 minutes a half. So we was on the phone just chatting. And man, I got the phone. I was inspired. I was ready to go do something. You know, I was ready to identify some changes in my life that could be holding me back. So I think that's what you're going to do tonight. You're going to identify some things in your life that could be holding you back and understand that a story is not always about, what happened. You don't always just want to see what happened in somebody's story, but a story should also tell you that it's possible. That, that where I am right now, I'm not going to always be here. And that if I've just worked some things practically in my life, I can get to where I want to get to. So listen, I just got a couple announcements real quickly. Next week, I know I done had 2 males on here, right? The first night, last Wednesday was a male. Tonight's a male. So for all the females who be like, you don't never have no females on your stuff. Okay, last 2, Wednesdays. Next Wednesday and the Wednesday after next, I'm going to have 2 guest females on here with me. And I guarantee you're going to be blessed by them as well. But also I wanted to share something with you after that. The last Wednesday of this month, I'm going to take a little break. I've been going 10 weeks straight, which is good for me. So I'm going to take a little break just for 1 week. And in August, I want to share this with you. In August, I'm going to move to Tuesday nights. Just want you to know, I'm just going to throw it, see it out there to you now. That I'm going to move to Tuesday nights, still 8 p.m., new night, same mission, bigger conversation. But I'm moving to Tuesdays. It's going to be better for me. It's going to be also better for those people, man, who I want to bring in as guests. All right. So just go ahead and just mark that down on your calendar, but I'll keep putting that in your face. So let me go ahead real quick and just kind of introduce my man. He is an entrepreneur. He is an author. He is a mentor. And I got all this right here. I was talking to him on Monday and I was just taking notes. He didn't realize I was taking notes, but I was taking notes. And listen, I'm just going to go ahead and bring him on here so we can go ahead and just get going. So we can just go ahead and get rolling. So from my hometown, Johnson City, Tennessee, we both from this, well, we're going to talk about that here in a minute. Johnson City, Tennessee, he's currently in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I want to bring and welcome my man to the Changemaker Playbook podcast, Mr. Bryant Mathes.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you
Bro,
doing?
what's
How
up
you
with you,
doing? What's
man?
going on, man?
What's up with
What's
you,
going
bro?
on? It's good. Appreciate you having me on the show, man.
Man, no doubt, man. Look, I told you, actually, you was my very first. I was like, I'm gonna do this whole month of July. I'm just gonna bring in some guests, and I was like, you was the first person. So I reached out to you and said, hey,
Oh
man,
man, that's
cause this is
love right there.
this is overdue, you know.
Love, it's
So I
love.
reached out to you about a year or so ago, like, hey, man, I'm gonna have you on. I'm gonna have you on, but life was life, and so, but the timing was now, and
I
you was
appreciate
the
you.
first person I reached out to, man. You're the first person I reached
I
out to,
appreciate
and
you, man. That's love, Toby. That's
and
love.
you look, man.
Love.
Listen, I see what you're doing. I see what a lot of you guys are doing, especially your little crew, man. I'll be honest with you, Tyrone. I see what I mean. Y'all all in that same vein. Nook. I see all these guys, man. I see what you guys are doing, and I applaud it, man. I
Thank you,
applaud
thank you, thank
that
you.
you guys are
Respect,
focused and you out here making a difference, man. And
respect, man.
that's what's up, man. So how you
Appreciate
been doing, man?
you. Hey, man, I'm great, man. Just living a dream, man. Every day, living a dream. Every day I wake up, I just thank the man upstairs, man. He brought me a long way.
I feel you. I
Brought me a
feel you.
long way.
I
And
feel
just you
you.
having me on your show is just it's heart touching for me. I love that, man. I love that. I love what you're doing. And you always was a stand up guy. You always was a stand up guy, man.
Man, I
I
appreciate
know
that,
your
man.
mom, your grandmom, you got a good family, and they always showed me love when they saw me as a pup, So I knew where you got your love from, so they gave me some of the love that you was getting.
That's
So
what's up,
that's
man.
just respect for your mom, your grandmom, and even yourself. I appreciate you having me on the show.
Man, that go both ways, man. You know what I'm saying? It's vice versa, even with your family, man. People don't realize, man, we grew up literally, we right down the street. We in the same neighborhood, man. Like
Yeah.
you got that shirt on Carver Rec, man. That was the name of the area that we grew up in. The people that don't know, man, is Carver. It's almost
Oh
like
yeah. Oh
it's like
yeah.
the project area in the city we grew up in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
And
had to go by there and get this.
right,
I always that's one place that I always when I go home. This is a place that I always visit. Is the recreation center to go see Mr. Herb Greenlee. If it wasn't for that recreation center, a lot of us would have been in trouble. A
absolutely,
lot of us would have been in trouble. That was our
absolutely.
sanctuary.
I feel you.
That was our sanctuary right there.
I
And
feel
I
you,
give that
man.
man a lot of respect, just keeping those doors open for us to have an outlet, when we're going through things. I know that was my outlet. Just getting to that recreation center, just to keep my mind clear, just playing basketball and just collaborating with my friends and other people that entered into that building, learned a lot from that building. Learned a lot from the people who ran the recreation center.
Right.
Mr. Wade, Herb, Melvin, all those guys, man. They were there for us just to give us something that we didn't have in our household. And that's that little bit, like a mustard seed, it helped me. That mustard seed turned into something special that I'm about to share with you guys.
That's what's up, man. Miss Deborah talking about we are Carver made, so you can't see the comments, man, but I can see them, man. So people are commenting,
Yeah,
some
that's
people
love
on
right
here,
there.
man.
That's
So,
auntie.
man, let's just jump right in, man. Cause I won't keep you on here all night, cause time is valuable, and I know, man, you're a busy man. So, man, let's real quick. I introduce you as an entrepreneur. So man, explain to people exactly. It's obvious if you look at the things in the background, but explain to people, what you do and what you have actually going on right now.
Okay. All right. So actually, what I do is, my dream was to, when I was 8 years old, to be a professional barber. It became my dream to be a professional barber, and I identified what I wanted to do when I looked in the mirror one day. When James L gave me the mirror and he's cutting my hair, I stared in the mirror for a long time, and I loved the way it made me look. And I identified this is something that I want to do right here. Be a barber, and so that's actually what I'm doing today. I'm being a barber slash entrepreneur slash educator slash mentor. So we're right here now, just standing in one of my sanctuaries, and this is a national accredited barber academy. This is something that I, worked hard, really, really hard for to get here for our community, and to inspire people that, If you stay the course, stay consistent in your grind and in your purpose, anything's possible. He's gonna give you those fruits. So take those fruits, eat them, adore them, and just take off. And he's gonna keep giving you more and more fruits. So it's what you do, what he give you, take what he give you, you know, live with that day by day, be patient, he's gonna give you more. And then
What's the name of the academy?
The name of the academy is Metro Barber Academy.
Where'd you get that name from? It's just
Well, actually, it's the school that I attended. So when I actually left Johnson City, Tennessee, this is the school I actually enrolled in.
Gotcha.
So this is where my junior year, I was already had my paperwork in to enroll in barber school. I already had my mom made up where I was going, what I wanted to do.
Right.
So I'm actually sitting in it now. So this is the school I actually attended for a year, and now my mentor died, and now I'm the owner of it.
How many students do you normally have when you?
Currently, students enrolled now is like 23 students. Yeah, it's like 23 students enrolled, and they enroll, every month. Or if students don't enroll, it's still open enrollment.
Gotcha.
So it's a nationally accredited barber school with the Federal Department of Education. And it's big. It's big, and it's a community. It's probably the only. It's one other school, but it's a cosmetology / barber program that they added. But they're more known for cosmetology. But it's probably the only within a 40-mile radius national accredited barber school.
And where you at? Let them know where you at as far as.
I'm in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the capital. So it's called the Metro. So you got York County, Lancaster County, Carlisle, and Lebanon County. All those counties, it's pretty much in that radius. The only barber academy.
Man, that's what's up. So when you in those, academy, when you in those sessions with them, I know because you said mentor as well, educator. So other than just teaching them how to cut hair, man, what else are you doing for your students as far as outside of just teaching them how to cut hair? Because I know you pouring into them more than just cutting hair, man. So what's that look like on the day? So if I was to come and enroll into your academy, what would I be getting from Mr. Mathes? What would I be getting from you, man?
Oh man, you first and foremost, first thing that you're gonna get when you enroll in my academy is mentorship and motivation, and you're gonna get a lot of community work. I keep my students in my academy out in the community to show other kids that it's possible. To provide and show them hope. We're entering into schools, school districts. We're entering into daycares. We're entering into senior citizen homes. We're doing haircuts on the streets to homeless. We're all over. We're at basketball games. We're just out in the community, showing them that this is what it's going to take to be an entrepreneur, getting out there and collaborating with others. So that's what we do at Metropolitan Barber Academy. We're a community type of school, community type based school, where I love being out there in the community, meeting people and showing people that, your dreams are made to come true.
Man, look, see, there's something when I was talking to him on Monday, y'all. There's certain words when you listen to Bryant talk, you're gonna start picking up on some of the same words, and he's used two of them already, and we're gonna get into that here in a minute. So, man, let's go backwards for a second, man.
Okay.
Let's do a rewind. We see what you're doing. You're doing great, bro. I appreciate you. I think I even saw where someone in your school actually they themselves just opened up their own barber shop, right?
Oh yeah, they just opened it up. Two of my students, I mentored them to open up their own business while they're actually enrolled in school.
See, that's mentorship right there, man. See, that's making a difference in these kids. And so let me ask you this: what's the average? If you was the guess, what's like the average age of the people who actually come to your academy? Are they just are they young or are they like all over the scale, man?
Hey, we started out at the age of 8, and that's
Like
Metro's.
you.
Yes, age of 8. That's when I identified what I wanted to do, and so that academy right there, that's a 501c. That's a nonprofit, and so that's where I actually take it inside of school districts and add it as a career pathway. So we actually, as of today, we're set up in York County, which is like 40 minutes away. So we have it to the clippers, to the mannequin heads. It's a whole barber school set up, ready to go for kids. And they come in, after their lunch break, and that's where I'll go train them. I'll put some posts up later on once the class is done, but that's what I love to do, love inspiring kids, just touching them at an early age. When you get that mustard seed at an early age and you water it, it's going to grow. Just being unselfish with your time and putting back into your community is what breaks that chain. And so that's where I got my idea on. I wanted to break the chain and reach back down and lift back up once I got my school, where it needed to be. That was my focus point, just, striving to get those youth and teaching them a career pathway and getting them adjusted to society at an early age.
Man, come on, man. Let's go back. Let's go back because you keep talking about the early age. Let's go back to your early age, man. Because I know I'm from Johnson City, just like you from Johnson City, man. Everybody's experience is different. No matter where you grew up and no matter what city you grew up in, everybody has a different experience, right?
Yeah.
Man, what was your experience like, man, as a young man growing up in your early years in Johnson City, Tennessee, man?
Hey, man, as a kid, I seen a lot of things. I seen, I was brought up in poverty, which I wouldn't change that because it made me who I am today. Just seeing different, drug activities, just seeing different, prostitution activities, and then just observing those things. But God was with me, and that's something that I always told myself, that that's what I don't want to do. I want to be different. And I found myself as a leader, doing what I wanted to do, living my dream and finding myself. That's when I identified, when I held that mirror, I put my hands on my dream and it came true. So,
man, that mirror part, man. I don't know if y'all caught what he said, man, when he was talking about when he was 8 years old. I had to write it down. He said he loved how his image looked. He loved how his image looked. Now, some people look at that and be like, he a little conceited. What are you talking about? but I know that's not what he's talking about.
No, it's bigger than that.
Go ahead, explain, because I know in your book you got a chapter that's titled "Identify Yourself."
Yeah.
And so, like, this is that moment in your life where you did just that, man. Go ahead and just kind of talk about that.
So that mirror was big to me because I love the way the haircut changed me, but it was something that I wanted to do for people. I said, if it's changed me the way my parents and the way it made me feel, I said, I'm pretty sure if I get good at this craft and this skill, it's going to change others' lives too. And so that's what I love about the craft of barbering, and that's when I identified that to that day, I said, this is what I want to do with myself. I love basketball. I played basketball all my life as a kid, picked the bat, won a Food Line basketball goal. I know a lot of people in Carver Projects remember that basketball goal I won. I won it as a little pup, and I would always shoot on it. I shoot on that basketball goal every day, but that wasn't, after a while, I came to realization that I knew I wasn't going to the NBA or, it was just basketball was a hobby. It's something that I love to do just to keep my mind clear of what was going on around me, the drug activities, just people, just there's a lot of prostitution, just a lot of different drug dealers and things like that coming from other cities and stuff like that. And it was a lot going on in our city. It was a lot going on in our projects. We didn't have that mentorship that we needed, but that basketball kept my mind focused on, try to block those things out. Just kept me focused. Just in the Carver Recreation Center. Just it was God. God, he helped me to not go back that other way. So I went my way. So I didn't want to go and be a follower and pick up drugs and things like that, because if I would have done that, I possibly could have seen myself being somewhere that I didn't want to be, because Absolutely. I had opportunities. I had access to a lot of things. I had access to guns. I had access to drugs. I had access to, women at a young age. But, something was helping me to stay the course. It was there. We all had access to those things. But we're here now, and like I said, I'm living a dream. And I wouldn't change nothing I went through. I wouldn't change my family. I wouldn't change my parents, because that's how I'm built tough.
Man, let me put this up on the screen. Miss Deborah's talking about, I have some books if anyone wants to purchase one when chains are broken. So
it's my auntie right there. That's my auntie mama right there.
So I put that up on the screen for those who might be able to see that. So especially those that's in, you see her Facebook. You see what her Facebook is, titled Inbox her, and she can get that book into your hand, no doubt about it. Because it's easy read too, man. It's quick, easy read, but yet powerful. So then, okay. So let me ask you this. So like with me and probably a lot of people you was around, and you was too, man. Man, we were so athletic minded, man.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we everything we did, even I went to the rec, but a lot of times with me, I was creating stuff like in my backyard. I'm creating, we playing wiffle ball, we doing track. Like I was that person.
I came up there a couple of times and played in your yard. I was like, you was different. I said, this little guy right here, man. I said, hey, you was definitely different. I was like, when we played Little League Baseball at Kiwanis, man, you're stealing them bases, man. I said, man, soon as this cat get on the base, he gone, man.
But that was our mind, man. We was so. That's one thing I will say about the community that we grew up in, man. From an athletic standpoint, man, don't think you're gonna walk right up in our community and bust us up in some type of sports, because you're gonna walk away sad.
Yeah, I say this to everybody that came from Carver has something special about them. And, I tell people, I mean, somebody might have been good at this, somebody might have been good at that, but everybody has something special that they did. And that's what it was. Everything was challenging for us. We competed amongst each other. We made it hard on each other, but that's how we was competitive. We wanted to be good. So we all got something special about us coming from Carver. So that's what I can say to my neighborhood and my friends and family.
See, the reason why I bring that up, because I don't know too many people at the age of 8. Like for us at that age, man, we thinking about, man, we trying to make it to the next level athletic wise. We trying to be on varsity. That's where our minds running. You know what I'm saying? Literally, we're not thinking about life outside of athletics, bro.
Yeah.
And see, that's rare. Like, that's for you to be 8 years old, to go down to Ducci and them. They don't probably know all those people are.
Yeah.
And to get that mirror. And I know what that mirror is like. Every guy who goes to the barbershop knows what that mirror moment is like. You know what I'm saying? When y'all reach around, put that mirror in front of it, and you hold it like, you don't even let me see myself. Like, some people really don't let you see yourself. They let me see what I look like. But that image of yourself, when you look in that mirror after that cut, I know, man, you ready. You know what I'm saying? What we getting ready to do? And so for that moment, man, to really hit you on the inside to say, I mean, that's a game changer, man.
Yeah.
At the age of 8, and now here you are, literally. Let me ask you this: how many of your boys' hair did you cut during that time and make money? Was you charging early, or did you just like, I'm just gonna cut y'all's hair
I was
just for the heck of it? Y'all gonna be my guinea pigs.
I was just cutting I could say my cousin, he stayed consistent with me, Chris Wilwan. He always allow me to cut his hair, and he said he was gonna pay me. He used to give me. He was like, "Nah, I'm gonna pay you." He's like, "I'm gonna help you." You know, he always would allow me to cut his hair, and you know that was love right there. He always had faith in me. And then as I came around, you know, the fellas, they started saying that, you know, this is really what I wanted to do. You know, so that moment, you know, I graduated from Science Hill High School. I was gone. I ain't looked back. It's almost 30 years now. You know, it's almost 30 years now. So I was on a mission.
So right when you graduated, you went to Harrisburg.
I went to Harrisburg. My paperwork was already in.
So what made you be like, man, I'm gonna go to Harrisburg? Family, or was it just like, man, I gotta get up out here? I mean, what was it? What was that turning point in your life when you're like, man, I can't stay in JC. I got to make a move.
Yeah, I mean, I can feel the energy. You know, my parents, you know, and my family went through a situation where, you know, we had to move out of the projects, you know, where, you know, it was drugs. It had to do with a drug bust, you know. But, you know, I ain't afraid to say that I was a kid. I was on the news. You know, that's where I came from. I came from I was exposed to a lot at an early age, you know, just probably more than the average kid on a consistent basis. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't change that because God was with me. And that's where I am today. I stayed the course. I stayed down. And it was bumps and bruises through the roads, ups and downs. But I knew you know, my time was coming, you know, and we're here now. So, and that minute that I walked across that stage at Science Hill High School, I was ready to go. I was ready to chase my dream. And I got up here, it was no days off, no breaks. I said, I'm not going back, because if I would have went back, it's possible chances is I could have been probably one of the biggest drug dealers in that area. You know, so that's something that I didn't want to do. You know, so, you know, had to be strong. You know.
So when you went to Harrisburg, was you there? Because it's funny, man. Like, because I asked you how old you were. I ain't gonna tell everybody how old you are, but you won't. But before we started, because it's interesting. Like when people would see the makeup of where we from, it's a small percentage of black people in Johnson City, Tennessee. Yeah. It's probably like 8%. Maybe it was probably less than that when we grew up. But it was crazy, and it wasn't because it nothing bad. But it was still like we had our little crew that we hung with. You mentioned Chris. That's my boy. Me and Chris together. Yeah. Look, man, if I have him on here, we would have to really be focused. We would have to really know what the agenda is, because if not, we would be all over the place, man. But you know, that was my little crew, man, that I was around. Chris. Oh yeah. Scotty. Yeah, that was us, man. And I knew y'all. You, Jovan, Tyrone. Tyrone, that's my dude, man. I might have to have Tyrone here. People don't think, like, when I talk about playing sports, especially football, I always talk about Tyrone, because I don't think people realize that some of the accomplishments that I had in my football career in high school was because of Tyrone. Like, especially, you know, I was all state in special team all state. But that was Tyrone Baltman should have probably been there with me, because he the one that set me up on everything. Look, that's what I looked for. When I caught that punt or whatever it was, I'm looking for 34. That was his number. I'm looking for Tyrone, because I know Tyrone gonna set me up every time. That's dope. And so that was y'all's crew, and so man, like, I didn't really, and we had our nicknames. I ain't gonna throw them out there, but I didn't know you like that well. We knew each other. Don't get twisted. But we just wasn't. We just didn't like talk, and it wasn't no issues. We just didn't talk. And then one day, I just remember somebody said, "Man," and I was gone, and I just remember people saying, Brian, he in Harrisburg," and I was like, "He got family there?" I'm like, "What is he?" I just didn't know, you know what I'm saying? And so when you went, that's my question. Did you go? Did you have family, friends, or was you just like, Hey, man,
But
this is
my mom was two brothers. My uncle Gary
got
Mathes,
you.
and my uncle James Hunter. Let him rest in peace. But my uncle Gary, he's still here. So and my uncle, he told me, it's like, hey, Brian, it's a barber school up here. Because at first I was gonna go to North Carolina, but when my uncle told me it's a barber school in Harrisburg, that gave me that comfort zone. Okay, I got some people. And then Coke,
Got you.
then Coke, he was down there. You remember Coke from
Mm-hmm.
Harrisburg that was down there cutting hair and stuff. So
Yep.
he was, they're like, yeah, come on up here and go to barber school and stuff. So I felt comfortable. And so when I got up here, I was like, you know what? I got up here, got established. And I was going to school every day.
But what was that
Steady
like,
push.
man? What was that like? What was that transition like? Because here you are, and I'm pretty sure you probably went to Harrisburg every now and then when you was in Johnson City, more than likely.
Oh yeah.
But what was that transition like, man? Like leaving Johnson City, going to Harrisburg.
Oh, it was different. I mean, it was a fast paced city, a lot more going on. Just a lot more minorities, a lot of corner stores, a lot of fast paced, a lot of drugs going on. I seen a lot, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stay focused on what I need to do.
Mm.
And so my uncle and my cousin Coke and my other uncle James, they kept me focused. Kept me focused on what I needed to do, told me where not to go, what to do, who to deal with. And then once I learned my pattern and my space and where I needed to be, it was all up from there. And then I started getting that name for myself, with those clippers in my hand. I started getting a name for myself, playing basketball at the gyms and things like that. So that's just what it was. Basically, the things that I did at Carver, I just transitioned and did those things here, and
Man.
but added my dream with it, and cutting hair and going to barber school and staying focused, So
So
it was.
when you was there, and so your book is called "When Chains Are Broken." Man, what were some of those chains? What did you learn about Bryant, man, in that time frame? What was it that you learned about yourself when you transitioned from Johnson City to Harrisburg? Because that's the new normal, and
Yeah,
that's when you now. I describe a new normal as when change forces you to stop living by the old playbook, and
yeah.
now you got to start becoming the version of yourself that this new season, this new
Yeah.
assignment requires of you. So what in that new season of your life, that new normal, what did you learn about yourself that you had to do, you had to become, things you might have to let go, like those
hmm
chains that you talked about? What was some of those identifying chains in your life that you realized that if I'm going to continue to accomplish where you are today, what are some of these chains that you had to identify that you had to break, man?
Yeah, it was. Some things you gotta let go. It can come from certain people that sometimes your friends. Sometimes it's not intentionally, but sometimes they get let go on your journey because, like you said, everybody can't come. And I had to realize that it's gonna be times to play, and it's gonna be times to stay. Be focused on what you need to be focused on. I had to learn patience. I had to discover that being able to learn work ethics and working around people because I had to become a people person, just
Mm-hmm.
meeting other business people and things like that. um, I had to get out of my old habits and doing things that I wanted to do, far as like time, showing up on time for certain things. What I mean, making sure that I'm getting there and being professional and things like that. I had to train my mind to do those type of things, and it was tough. Just transitioning to being this entrepreneur that I am today, from where I came from, because I wasn't taught any of those things. I was self-taught a lot of things. I was self-taught accounting. I was self-taught how to be a man of integrity. I was self-taught how to be a father. I was self-taught a lot of things. It's just watching, observing, praying, and that's where I came from. That's why, at Carver we didn't have that father figure around all the time. They probably was around, but they was probably doing them work or doing whatever they wanted to do, but
Melvin Stevens
yeah,
were like our
that's all
father
we
figures,
had.
man.
So
Yeah, the people you saw down at the wrecks and stuff, man. I feel you, man. I'm with
yeah,
you.
so those are a lot of the things, just breaking that chain and just understanding, and developing to becoming the person who I am today. It's tough. I still have tough times, just building I had to build my confidence up, and that's a thing that, you know, reflect back to holding that mirror. You can, a haircut can build your confidence up and build your self-esteem up, so if you didn't have that as a kid, that's a lot of people deal with those type of problems. That's self-esteem problems. They have, maturing problems. It's just, those are things that you got to work on. You got to pray about. If you had never taught those things.
So
So
do you address some of these, like some of the things that you had to deal with? Are these things you also address to like some of the people in the academy? Because I'm sure you see some of those same traits, man, when people come into the academy.
oh yeah, like every young man, young woman that enters inside of Metropolitan Barber Academy, it's a feeling that I get. And I was like, you, I know where you coming from. You coming from a place where I just left. I'm still there with you, but I'm here now to explain you can get out of that and we can talk about that. You could be a mentor because you're going to get out of that. I'm going to help you get out of that place to where you are now. I know you need a mentor. I know you need direction. I was there before. And, my school is more of a family oriented school because we have these talks. Before we even start class, we have motivation. And sometimes motivation can be an hour because it gets so deep. We go around the room. I want everybody to be locked in, focus on what we're doing, not focusing on what's on the outside. Focus on what's going on at Metropolitan Barber Academy and focus on your career. That's going to be there later. We need to focus on what's here today to get our minds right. So that's the big piece of how we start our day and how we end our day. And the difference between a good day and a bad day is your attitude. You got to have that. And if you have those things, you're going to go somewhere and just apply pressure. Apply pressure.
Dude, man. Oh, man. There's so many things going through my head right now, man. I can't talk about on here that
Yeah,
I can
man.
see. Before I go any further, so what I keep is a friend of mine keep putting on here. I don't know if this is your county. What's Dauphin County? Dauphin.
But Dauphin County is the county of the surrounding York, Lancaster, Lebanon. That's a
Okay,
county. That's all the counties and
I
the
got you.
surrounding areas.
Okay,
And that's the
so
reason why
obviously this person knows the area that you're in.
yeah. That's why I named the school. That's why I named the school the Metro. And
Got you.
that's another thing. Well, my mentor named the school the Metro, but like I said, he died, and I built the school back up from scratch. I opened it back up. I didn't just take it over. I opened it up from ground zero and took it from no students to what it is now. And so I did that for him. This is something that he wanted to do is have a national accredited school, but he didn't have that. He was older, and I said, you know what? It was times that I wanted to quit, and give up. I said, nah, I ain't giving up. I'm gonna keep on going. So many people depend on Metropolitan Barber Academy. So many people depend on me now. God put me in a position so people can depend on me because I'm in my purpose. And so we got to help people. Got to help people get better. And that's what I love to do. I love to, if you're willing to try, I can help you. But if you don't want to try and put no effort in, man, maybe later. I
I
can't
like
wait.
that. Maybe later.
Yeah, maybe later. I can't wait.
You didn't burn the bridge. I like how you did it. I didn't. If you don't want to try, maybe later. I didn't burn the bridge, but when you're ready, I'm here. I like
Yeah,
that,
I
man.
mean, and the thing is I'm human. I have a heart too. Sometimes, you can't. It's always someone else that's going to need your time too as well. So we got to be understanding. When it's your opportunity, take advantage of your opportunity. That's what I did. I took advantage of my opportunity when my mentor told me he's going to make something out of me. And I said, you know what? This is my opportunity because I don't want to go back there. I want to stay. I want to keep grinding. I had dreams at night sometimes that I'm back in Johnson City. This ain't where I want to be because it was great to me there. It was great. And, when I moved, it was like, me just being in that box and the Carver Projects. It was like when I moved to Pennsylvania, it just opened up. It opened up to me. There's opportunities there. So I just took it and ran.
Man, that's what's up, man. Because I'm listening to you, and just so people understand, like this was his experience. This was his journey. This is what he experienced in JC. So he's not this. So people are clear. He ain't just saying JC is this bad, terrible place. It's just his experience at this particular time in his life. It wasn't good for him, and he didn't want to go back there. There are people that I know. I look at my sister. You know what I'm saying? Who's doing her nail academy, her husband doing a barber academy, Wendy. And so they're doing well. You know what I'm saying? So there are people who are doing well.
Yeah,
but for your story, that's all it is. You know what I'm saying? For your story, it required you to make a transition to get out. This is the bottom line.
And I love my family. They always, I'm very observant. I was a very observant kid. I watch my nieces, my nephews, my sisters. I watch them. I'll walk away and just I'm looking out the corner of my eyes. I'm here. I just wanted to show them that anything's possible. Just stay the course. And I'm proud of my sisters and my cousins, and I'm proud of my friends, my family. My sister Keena, Nook, Jovan, Tyrone, all them. If I ain't name you, I love my mama. I'm proud of her. I'm proud of all my family and friends. Herb, that's my dog right there. Rob, all my friends and family. Everybody. My Keelan, my childhood, Pookie, Burrow, Mark, all of them. They had an impact, on my life of who I am today. And it's amazing that I never in a million years. And I want to give credit to my sister Sadie Bailey. She directs my whole school.
Oh, really?
Sadie. Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yes. Yeah. That's Carver May right there.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a lot, You got Nook. He's in Charlotte. He's doing real well. He got his own business going, entrepreneurship. He's doing big things. I'm definitely proud of him. That was my right hand right there. Tyrone, he in the A filming. Right. You got the movie coming, Carver May. Right. He doing his thing. I'm back and forth in Atlanta. Hopefully one day I'm incorporated in Atlanta too with my 501(c)(3) too. Metros of Tomorrow. I did some things down in Johnson City. As far as the youth academy, I want to get back down there. Putting more things in the community for the youth down there as well too. It's a lot of work still yet that's needed to be done, especially in my community. That's my next focal point. I got to get home and put some work in the way I did here. I'm ready for that now. I'm built up. I have knowledge. I have game. I love going in there speaking to Herb. He always tell me he's proud of me. And I tell him I'm proud of him. I said if it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't be who I am today. So it's a lot, man. It's a lot of people that put into me. And I want to give back. That's my motto, just giving back to people and changing people's lives and breaking that chain, man.
That's what's up, man. I heard you say something. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this clip on here that I told you. I heard you say one of your chapters, and we gonna shut it down here in a minute. One of your chapters is talking about everybody can't go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna play something, man. I'm gonna play a little reel by Snoop. All people by Snoop Dogg, man. I'm gonna play this reel, and then we're going to come back, man. I'm going to let you expound on this and then that part about how everybody can't go.
As you grow, you lose certain homies because it's called closing the gap. This is the gap when we start. This is the gap as you grow. Notice how you grow and they don't. So how do you close the gap? You got to come back down. When you come back down, you lose. So you got to keep going up. That's why closing that gap got to be them catching up to you. And if they don't catch up, you got to leave them behind, because you get to the point now where you got to start cutting out. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you can't look back when you cut them out, because if they meant to be there, they're going to be there. As you grow.
Man.
That's real right there.
So you here it is, man. You leaving Johnson City, you making this transition. How does that, what you just heard, along with everybody can't go, what you wrote in your book, man, share with us, man. Help a brother like me and other people who feel like, you know what, I gotta take everybody with me. You know what I'm saying? I gotta do it. I gotta take everybody with me, man. Help us, man. Drop some nuggets on us, man. Some wisdom on us when it comes to everybody can't go.
Well, the thing is with that is, you know, once you find your purpose, God has something for each and every one of us. Our purpose, and once you find that, He wants you to go. You know, and you got to keep going. You can't look back. You know, He's gonna feed you along the way, and just keep going. Because if you look back, you're gonna go somewhere else. I mean, He ain't gonna pick you up. He gave you the tools and the fruit so you can keep going. So you want to keep going and stay in your purpose. You know, you can get back and give some knowledge back and pour back into the community. That's the, you know what I mean? Everybody can't come along your journey, but you can reach back down and give some nuggets so they can get up off the ground.
Come on.
So they can start their journey.
Come on.
So that's just the amazing thing. I wrote that chapter. Well, I actually wrote my book when I was in the Virgin Islands. I started my book in the Virgin Islands and I ended my book in the Virgin Islands on an island, you know, and so it was real. I never knew in a million years I was going to be an author, you know, and I'm still writing to this day. You know, I have some more things coming. You know, I got a story. My life's a story. You know, everybody's life's a story. Absolutely. And everybody can't come. You know, you can write it down and share it with them, but everybody can't come on your journey.
That's tough, man.
Yeah. You was born
that's a tough thing, man. When you start growing and you start looking back and you realize, man, the same people, it just ain't there no more. And it ain't got nothing to do with the fact that we ain't cool. It's just like Snoop said, I'm growing and it's creating this gap, man. It's just creating this gap between us. That's
we can't hang. We can't hang out no more and do the goofy stuff. We ain't shooting at the same baskets. We don't play for the same team.
Come on. Come on.
I mean, like, that's just what it's going to be. And a lot of, you can't make everybody understand your journey. You know, everybody's not going to understand the reason why you move the way you move. It's not for you to understand. What's not understood doesn't need to be explained. You know, and so everybody's mission is different. And everybody's purpose is different. But they all come from the same power up above. So, you know, stay focused, you know, remain humble and stay in your process, stay in your purpose. You know, and
so let me ask you this last little question. And I think we talked about this the other night. So I think it's good for people to understand what you told me. When did you realize, when did it hit you that your chair, your barber chair, man, was a platform? You know, it became more than just sitting there cutting hair. You know what I'm saying? It became a true platform, man. When did you realize that? And what does that mean to you when I say it became a platform? Because you know what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah. I mean, when I would, you know, put people in my chair, it was some life-changing conversations. You know, it was conversations where I had to be a psychiatrist. You know, I had to listen to people and listen more and give them the right input on, you know, what they were talking about, because some people were going through so much, but my job was to make them smile and make them feel different when they got out of my chair.
Right.
That was my job right there. You know, if I can put a smile on your face and make you feel good and make you get up in that, and I can tell when I do it too. After I give you the mirror, you go look in other mirrors. and then you even go, and then you go in the bathroom, and then when I go in the bathroom behind you, it's hair all in the sink. Because I know you in there, you're happy. and that's the main thing that I love about barbering, just changing people's lives. And that's my it's therapeutic to me. I love to cut hair. It was a point to where I was cutting almost 100 heads in a week.
Wow.
So I love to cut hair. I mean, I love to change people's image. I love the way it makes people feel. I love to stay, with the continuing education of being a barber / entrepreneur and changing lives, man. It feels great, man. It feels amazing when you can make a young kid smile, just me just going inside those schools and teaching them my craft and being like, I was him before. And I know where some of them's coming from. And so that's why I can relate to them. Just be patient with them, give them as much as possible and just pray with them, pray over them. And they don't even know you praying over them, as I'm teaching them, And there's kids to this day, you help them identify who they want to be if you just give back and just pour a little bit into them. And that's the same thing as, when someone sits in my chair, you provide hope for them, especially with their image and the way you make them feel, So.
Real talk, man. Look, man, I thought I said 30 minutes. We 50 minutes. We 50 minutes in, man. We're gonna go, man. Let me say this to you though, man. From the heart, man. I said this to you tonight. I'm gonna say it again, man. Man, it says a lot about you. Okay.
Appreciate you. Man.
It says a lot about you when young kids look up to you, man.
Yeah.
And the fact that you love what you do, that's critical, man. Because I think that's where most people, a lot of times, where we struggle with finding what it is we love to do and going all in. You know what I mean? And that's what you did. You found what you love to do, and you went all in, man.
It's like going to the NBA. It's like going to the NFL. I'm living my dream. What you say you want to do, you can do it. Just tap in. Find your purpose. Tap in and do it.
And when people see that you love what you do, they want to learn from you. If there's something in them that's connected to something in you or something that resembles something, they want to learn from you because they see that you love what you do. People don't want to learn from people who don't love what they do.
Right.
They're like, man, you don't even know what you want to do. And you don't even know if you love what you do.
Right. It's not
why
genuine.
do I want to learn from you? And so the fact that you love what you do, man, is what's attracting.
Yeah,
like you're in your purpose. Like you said, man, you're in your purpose and it's attracting people to you, man. And it says a lot, man. And your character, just everything, I'm seeing character all throughout this 50 minutes and even on the phone, man. There's two words that I said that you use a lot. One of them was consistency, man. And I just want to say this to my little change maker audience out there. He uses the word consistency a lot. And it's important because I've learned in my life the biggest gap in our lives is between what we know and what we do. And in order to close that gap, you got to implement what it is you got to apply action to what it is you know. And one of those things that keep you from applying action is what I call this inspiration gap. And that simply says, I don't feel like doing it. And when you get to a place where you're like, I don't feel like doing it, you become inconsistent.
Yeah.
And so I like what Brian is talking about because his purpose became louder than his feelings. And that's a biggie right there. It's because if your purpose and the love for what it is you're doing in life doesn't become bigger than your feelings, then what happens is, man, you become highly inconsistent in your life. And then number two, the other thing that you use, man, that I love is community. Is how you build community. And I'm getting ready to introduce tonight, because I'm going to talk about this definition in August. But I'm getting ready to put something on this screen real quick. Introduce a definition that fits within my Changemaker Playbook community. And here it is. I'm gonna put it on the screen. It's community is the room where growth gets supported, identity gets strengthened, and purpose gets practiced together. And bro, that's exactly that's what you have built.
Yeah.
Where you are.
Yeah.
You have built a room where growth gets supported,
Thank you.
where people's identity gets strengthened, and people's purpose is practiced together, man. And so
Appreciate
then you building this community, and then they're going out and being impactful in the community that they're in, man. So listen, bro, I highly
Appreciate you. Love.
man, applaud you, man. And
thank you, bro. I love you,
much love from me, man.
Appreciate
I don't
you.
know what everybody else think about you, but I'm telling you, from Toby Patton, bro.
Appreciate you.
I got mad respect for Bryant Mathes. I'm
Appreciate
talking
you,
about
man.
mad respect for you,
Appreciate
man.
you.
And I just want to say thank you for spending this like almost an hour with me, man.
Yeah,
And
thanks for having me.
anytime, man,
Thanks for
you
having
welcome to come on here anytime you want to come on here with me. You know what I'm saying? If I'm doing something somewhere and I'm looking for people to come in to speak, see, I'm building community too. That's what people don't realize.
Yes, sir.
And so, like, if I'm out here doing live events, guess who I'm gonna have up there with me speaking?
Yeah.
Bryant Mathes.
Yeah.
See, I'm building my community as well, man. And so, man, I appreciate you, bro. Tell Sadie
you.
I said what's up. Man, I didn't know that, man. That's. But I'm gonna give you the final word here, and we're gonna get off here, man. Just share some encouragement with people out there, man, who may be dealing with, you know, some things in their lives where they're just maybe feeling like, you know, I need to make a transition. I feel like there's more, and I need to do more, but I'm stuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm just almost like in a stuck spot, man. Just go ahead and just take the last few minutes, man, and just share with those people, man.
Well, the thing is, you know, first, you know, just pray about what you want to do and in your surroundings. You know, stay around people that's going to support you on what you want to do. You know, especially if you're sharing your journey and your dreams of what you want to do. You got to be careful with that. Stay around like-minded people, and it'll happen. Just stay, like I said, stay consistent. You know, follow the blueprint. You know, step by step, and it's gonna be up and downs along the road. It's not gonna be 1 to 4. It's not gonna be 1 to 3. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a blueprint. It's a system, and you stay the course. And it takes time. You know, as long as you understand time and patience, you're gonna win.
There it is, right there. We ended it right there, man. Man, I appreciate you, and I appreciate the people, man. I see EP on here, Eric. I see Lynn. I see people, Clinton. I see Shamina, Mimi. I see people chiming in, man. So I do see y'all. Marcy Driver. I see people on here that's chiming in. Look, if you want to watch this, go back to the YouTube. It'll be on YouTube. You can go back and watch it. But man, I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
And next Wednesday night, I love you too, bro. Man, mad respect, man. Look, next Wednesday night, gonna have another guest. I told y'all, my first 2 guests were males. The next 2 guests gonna be females. And so until next week, you've been watching the Changemaker Playbook live edition with your man, Coach Toby J, and my special guest, Changemaker himself, Bryant Mathes. Until next time, God bless you.
Thank you, Toby.